Hello everyone, it is Monday, October the 8th, 2018, about 11:45 in the afternoon, and we are in Ohio. We are going into, you're better with this, what are the details? What's the long version of the name of this place?
This is the National Museum of the United States Air Force.
National Museum of the United States Air Force. I just think of it as an aerospace museum owned by the Air Force. Wow, okay, so the back of this plane opened up.
This is what it looked like when they had them loaded up going home. See how excited the men are? They're going home.
You look like you've seen the picture before when it happened, didn't you?
I remember when that happened.
Yeah, okay, so this was the prisoners of war from Vietnam released and going home inside of, was it this plane? Was it this exact plane that they went home in?
February 12th, 1973.
1973.
And it was this very plane.
Yeah.
It was this very plane. Okay, so that was after we had just kind of withdrawn from Vietnam. Yeah, ceased hostility.
I mean,
there was really no clear winner in Vietnam.
You see the holes? This is a map that's in here. You see the holes? They hooked in the floor. It was regular seats. They had these out of here, and they had it was like 6 rows wide.
They had put in some bench seats for everybody. That looks like the bench seats. Some of them right there in front of us.
Yep.
That looks like them. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how they did it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see.
These are called jump seats, Gary.
But see, those are seats too.
Those are called jump seats.
Oh, those are the ones where you can harness yourself to the wall.
Right. These are called jump seats.
This is for paratroopers right here.
Yeah.
Well, paratroopers, see, they would haul gear in here, and then the men would ride in the jump seats.
Oh, okay, so the men were on the walls, and and then the gear was in the middle.
Right. Whatever it was, jeeps, tanks, whatever.
Elephants.
Whatever.
If you've ever seen Operation Dumbo Drop, the movie.
But this is what they did to get the men home.
Right. You see how they hooked into the floor?
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Specially made brackets.
Yep.
So this was like meant to be very versatile.
Right.
But I know I did see video of them doing that with
Jeeps.
Jeeps. They would drop Jeeps with a parachute on them right out of the back. This is Roosevelt's presidential plane. And yeah, this was before they even called it Air Force One. But he didn't like to make a public display of his being bound to a wheelchair. So he had this elevator put in so he could just roll the wheelchair up in here and elevator it on up.
Take him up to his office.
Yeah. And so
Go inside the plane, you'll see where it goes out.
yeah, and that was a little more of a discreet way of him getting into his airplane without a public display of I can't get up the stairs. Why I skipped ahead to the Air Force Ones, because there's some of them you can actually walk into. So I'm going to go inside the Roosevelt plane now, let you guys see it from the inside.
See how narrow that is?
Yeah, I think they put this narrow gate before the stairs so that if you're not able to get through here, then there are going to be parts of the plane that you're not able to get through either. So, yeah. And the plane was actually widened to accommodate Roosevelt's wheelchair, and even with the widening, it was still pretty narrow. So today's American girthy standards. So. We got some bunks.
Yeah, look at this kitchen.
What? What kitchen?
This is the
Oh, I
kitchen.
missed that. There's a kitchen.
And a refrigerator and everything.
Oh, look at that. There is.
Little 2 eyes. Yeah.
It's like a little camper kitchen in here.
Yeah.
Right there. Cool. Okay, and here's kind of like the office. And
Yeah.
is that a functioning phone?
Well, I'm
Did it
sure
work while I was in the air?
I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah. And this, I guess the beds,
Another phone in there?
the beds must have let down or something whenever, because see, they wouldn't have had those
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to sit right
so
there.
look, these are on hinges. So apparently,
yeah,
beds
like
down.
this was like a Murphy bed kind of thing where it would just hinge up,
Yeah.
give you some headroom to be able to sit. Got some spare bedclothes there. What is that? Cot or something? All right. Turn in the little bitty corner now.
I can't imagine a wheelchair.
Right up against the fuselage.
Can you?
Okay. And it looks like we're about to go into the... Here it is. Okay. There's the door. Okay, you can see it better from here.
Yeah.
You can see it better there.
And see, that's where his wheelchair came up.
Okay, so there's his office, which is very, very spacious.
Yep.
Really. Okay, so his wheelchair would come up this shaft right here.
You can see the shaft down there.
Right there.
And it would come up,
it would
and
raise
there's
up.
a restroom over there. I can
Oh,
see
there's a
the
restroom
bathroom.
back there behind?
Yep.
Okay, so he, and then he would
And see, there's another little office right here.
go through
too.
to his office.
See? There's another
Well, I'm sure
office
that's
right
probably
here.
like vice president type assistants are right there. Or the Secret Service.
That's
All
pretty
right.
neat.
And that's it. We just went through Roosevelt's presidential plane.
Can you imagine getting a wheelchair through those narrow aisles that was widened for his wheelchair?
Widened for those tiny little narrow aisles that were widened. Coming up to the Harry S. Truman Independence, and this was again before they started calling it the Air Force One. This was only the second aircraft specifically made to transport a president, and it transported Harry S. Truman from 1947 through 1953. And this is again one that we are able to walk through. So let's go on through this one. Wow. It seems like some of this has got to be superfluous. There's so many gauges here. Oh no, this one's got some old style card game going on here. And this one has got the bathroom where you can actually see into the
These
bathroom.
seats don't look as nice as the ones in the other room.
Got a tiny little sink.
And they still got these rural, whatever. Storage.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, see, and the bed's let down on this one too, like the other one.
Yeah.
oh, there's a
It
toilet.
looked like
There's a bathroom.
there was a lot of staff that was transported along with the president. A lot of bench seats there, and a kitchen, once again. A 4-eye burner.
Set up very similar.
Could you imagine being a cook that was standing over here cooking a meal
Seat.
at 2,000 feet?
Oh, this one's 4 eyes and a little oven at the
Yeah,
bottom.
and a little convection oven.
Refrigerator. No, what is that a refrigerator or
Yeah,
freezer?
It might be. This would be the
That's
refrigerator over
refrigerator,
here.
But what would maybe that's just
Maybe it's a
storage.
pantry or something.
Yeah.
Alright, going further back. Again, this would be the presidential office because it's got
Yeah.
that Oval Office type logo right in the center of the table. And then we reach the dead end, very back, with another sink. There's another like little hand sink in here. This pen right here was used by Roosevelt to sign
No. By Truman.
By Truman.
In 1947.
in 1947 to sign this document, which made the Air Force a separate military entity to itself. So then you had the Navy, the Army, Marines, and then the Air Force. And that took place right here in this plane
In 1947.
in 1947 with
July
that
26,
pen, July 26. Now going through the Columbine 3, that was the Dwight D. Eisenhower presidential plane. And okay, the cockpit actually looks a lot more complicated here. You've got a co-pilot seat to the side, or navigator, and engineer.
There's a bunch of switches up in here. Oh, well, that's what that is for.
Okay, their bench seats could sit 3 abreast. And the kitchen is a little more of an alcove, which is nice. Another 4-eye burner, toaster, coffee maker, and 2 deep well sinks. And
This is the pantry, it looked like on this side.
pantry there.
Oh, yeah.
This one is much longer than the others. The plane was actually lengthened for the president to be able to accommodate the large staff that needed to be transported. Still, this is small compared to the Air Force Ones used today. A lot more phones. It's just like everything we've already seen, but much more. This one's got a projector. Projector for reel-to-reel videos.
Oh, yep.
So that was the president's little home theater system. Or maybe it was for newsreels so he could keep up with what was going on.
You know what? Look how the bed let out in these. You know how the other ones it was pulled down? Some of them on that side.
Yeah,
But
so
these
this is
are-
like one of those couches that, like a futon couch that
Yeah.
lays down, turns into a bed. It turns from this into this. Nicely done. Okay, now we're getting into the tail of the plane. Again, there is a second bathroom all the way back here. Or wait, was there a first bathroom in this one? Was there a bathroom? Did we pass one?
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
so there was a bathroom way up there.
Yep.
And again, I wonder what the idea was behind having a bathroom in the tail. Maybe one was for the president and the other was for the crew? Maybe? Could be. Alright, going back out. Bird Dwight D. Eisenhower. We've got his smaller plane right here, and this is one that he would fly himself much of the time. I mean, he's got a pilot there. He's not going to do it all the time.
But it said he would.
But
he would often take control.
yeah, he would
during
take control.
trips.
When he was headed back to his farm in Pennsylvania, he liked to fly part of the way back himself. And this was the first presidential plane to only have 2 engines. But this was the more economical way of making short trips. And I guess a way of making him feel a little more independent in that he could fly it himself. And last we are going on to Kennedy's Air Force One, the SAM 26,000. Also significant because right after Kennedy's assassination, Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn into office quickly. Had to be done quickly right after Kennedy was pronounced dead. Right inside here. And then, let's see, the aircraft then carried Kennedy's body and President Johnson back to Washington, D.C. and a grieving nation. So, let's go on in. Look at that. The TV is strapped down. Well, this is actually very spacious. Alright, it looks like this is about where it happened right here. Lyndon B. Johnson being sworn in. Standing right here on this floor. Look at the old fax machine, or copier. Old copier. Plane was equipped with a copier and a ribbon typewriter. All the fine modern equipment of the day. Phones, phones, phones. Another phone. Oh, and a second kitchen. This one has a second kitchen. Huh. And another bathroom. And then there's the exit coming out the tail. Started way down there. Come to this giant backbone workhorse of the Air Force, the legendary C-130, the plane that has been in production longer than any other model. 1962, and still being made, still being used, still being maintained till today.
They have sold them all over the world.
The rugged, the workhorse, the
3 types
Hercules.
of lights are used inside the cargo bay for different situations. White lights are used for normal conditions. Red lights are used to preserve the night vision of the crew and passengers. Green lights are not detectable by night vision devices. Normally, only one color of light would be turned on. So they have 3 different lights that they use.
Green lights, white lights, and red lights.
Yeah.
So, this too is a transport. You can see all the different things that,
Those are jump.
brackets that you can attach to the floor. Seats, strap downs, tie downs,
It's like conveyor belts that are rolling things.
jump seats on the sides for the paratroopers. And then, again, there's like that slide out of the top there for the paratroopers.
Larry, they would put
And just
these
run.
Off this ramp.
rolling things, I bet, to put heavy stuff on here. They could roll. See how
There's so many like action movies that end with a C-130 lowering the tail.
Larry?
You know,
No, you see
like
those
007 and
straps
whatnot.
strapping over things.
Oh, you know, in the back of a C-130 with the back of it opening up in midair, mid-flight. We just got out of the museum, the giant 22-acre museum right over there. They're gracious enough to give us some picnic tables. So I'm going to go ahead and use this opportunity to bring this one to a close. This is probably going to be 2 or 3 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and say, now this is the end of part 2. So please don't forget to smash that like button, leave comments and questions and suggestions. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to start receiving notifications. And I will see you again in the next one.
Bye.